one. I know that this was not a team, despite their record, that you definitely were not taking them lightly. And it just seemed like everything was falling for you, and everything kind of went your way in this one.
Well, they started off well. I think we were down 6-2 early going, and they were, they came out with a fair amount of fight in them, and we looked like we were just getting some footing. But by the end of the first media timeout, about the 16-minute mark, we started to slowly get into a rhythm offensively, which was great. It was kind of back and forth. We kind of around the 10-minute mark, it was 20-15 or so. We were starting to pull away, and they went to the zone. And of course, Jermichael Hawkins is like the Death Star against zones. I mean, he just was absolutely terrific. What can you say? I mean, this is 7 games in a row. This guy, I think he's averaging right now right at 20 points a game for the last 7 games, and that's including a very poor outing at McNeese. That's including that game where he went 1 for 10. So, not to put too much on him, we know that shooting is rented, not owned. But we did a pretty good job of splitting. I can't help but think about opening weekend at Nichols and McNeese. Had we been healthy, could we have stolen one of those games and split? Right now we'd be sitting at 4-2. But things conspired against us. We didn't played 2 close games. The Nichols on the road game, I would have liked to have been 100%, but they were able to get us on that day. And dropping the Sam game taught us a lot. That game was very elusive. It was almost there. It seemed like we were almost going to get it under control. We almost got back several times, but was not to be. But tonight, a very good offensive performance. I thought we mixed our defense as well. We dusted off our 2-2-1 press, trying to see if we could get our juices flowing a little bit. And I don't know that did a lot, but it got us moving and getting us up and down the floor. And our forwards, we're going to have to go back and kind of look at that again. Our forwards, we almost got some traps. We did create a couple of turnovers, but then our rotations at the end, they just kind of attacked it for some easy twos. And eventually I said, we've got the juices flowing. Let's just go straight to zone. Then I thought the zone became very active. They run kind of a motion against man or zone. We matched out very well with it. We switched positions on the floor. It almost became like the old Jerry Tarkanian amoeba. It just kind of took the shape all over the place. We were digging and active, and they couldn't score anymore. And then all of a sudden the floodgates opened, and it was on. And great to see that, obviously. And a nice win for us. And like you said, taking care of business, not taking anybody lightly, which was great for us.
Talking about, you mentioned Hawkins, and like you said, shooting is definitely rented, not owned. But the thing you have to love, especially these last 2 games about him, he's been very efficient. Tonight, only 12 shots to get his 25 points.
Yep.
And any time you can shoot 56% from the floor, 59% from behind the 3-point line. Now, I know you'd like to see those free throws.
But the person who's struggling at the free throw line is Josh Fillmore, and it's all in his head right now. He's plummeting. He's probably at 50% for the year, and he's just too good of a shooter. So it's either something mental or it's something mechanical that's slightly off, and it's just in his head now. And I hate the fact that his mom's here for the weekend, and she's here to watch him, Michelle. And I wanted him to play at his best. He's playing really well, by the way. That's a shame that this is his Achilles heel at the moment, but. There was one period there, I thought around the 10-minute mark, AB had a couple of great point-blank shots off great passes in transition, off a lob against the zone. Josh missed 4 free throws, and somebody else missed a layup as well. And I hated giving those 10 points away. And not so much that we needed to score more points to win this game, but it's just a mindset. We missed some key baskets in our comeback against Sam Houston, and we've got to learn to be efficient all over the place. And everybody, and I know our guys they're on themselves for missing that too. But to be that ultimate team, when you're watching a film of Stephen F. Austin, you don't see many mistakes like that. And so I guess that consistency, that mindset, that approach, it's ever so close. But still, I still contend that maybe our best basketball still lays ahead of us, and maybe another 3 or 4 weeks as we're figuring some stuff out. But now we got to go back on the road and find a new vibe. 3-1 in 4 home games. Played pretty well on the road against McNeese and Nichols, but get ready to take on arguably the 3rd best team in the league. They're all in Texas. Stephen F. Austin's probably number 1, Sam maybe number 2, Corpus right there. And then I think Oral Roberts and maybe 2 or 3 others like us who are right there ready to make some movement and shifts in the next 3 or 4 weeks. We've had 3 weekends of basketball. We have about 6 more to go. And we lay at 500 and knowing we could be even a little bit better, but we're not. And, now 3 weeks away from the University Center. 2 games in Texas, a lone single game down in New Orleans. I hope some of our fans will travel for that later toward the end of the month. Is that the first one here? First one is here. Never mind. I hope our fans will travel here for that one. I was thinking we were on the road, so good. Not 3 weeks on the road. Beautiful. It's a nice little break in the middle. And then, of course, the big trip to Oklahoma following that. So 2 long trips coming up with a home slice in the middle. But, we got to see what we can do on the road and maybe pull a special upset. But, Corpus is playing really well. Just a few barometers or a few markers for our fans. Right after we upset Rice went on the road to Corpus and beat them by 2 or so in a really close game about a week after we played them. And then recently, Stephen F. Austin, who's kind of dominated everybody, went to Corpus and won by 10. That's a pretty close ball game, probably not unlike the game we just played against Sam Houston. So, Corpus is playing well. They've got a great Jonathan Jordan, who's a great point guard, 3rd-year player, really coming into his own. They've got a couple of other very good scorers, and Willis Wilson does a terrific job. So we've got our work cut out for us, but, we can enjoy this tonight. We can kind of get ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually rested tomorrow. 1 more day off on Monday where we kind of will, do a little 2-a-day type work. And then Tuesday, it's back to school, back toward earning our degrees for our seniors in particular, kind of getting that routine again, and then taking off on Wednesday, probably around noontime, 1 o'clock, to head out of here for Texas, maybe do the morning classes and head out for that day and a long day of travel. But, feeling good about this one. This was a worrisome one. But, as opposed to kind of like, I think Damon and I talked about this before the game, doing the big Newt Rockney speech or anything like that. It's about staying with the basics we've talked about all year. Don't get outworked. Don't get out hustled. Don't get out executed. Energy's got to be higher. And that's every day. There may be an emotional cue that you have to have going into that Sam game, because in those games you have to take it away from your opponent. You can't just be good enough. You have to be a little better. You have to take the victory away from them. We're going to have to take championships away from a couple of people in front of us. But we came out really good mindset, really good focus. And of course, once we got some confidence and we were rolling, everybody started feeling pretty good. And just a great number of contributions. 16 threes today. I think we've talked and been waiting for this day to see the combination of threes. 1 from Antonio Benton, 3 from Dre Evans, 1 from Josh Fillmore, 6 from JaMychal Hawkins, 2 from Julian Chiara, 2 from Quinn Cooper, 1 from Anochi Ochi. I mean, I wish you could bottle that and then spray it on them every day when they needed it on the road and stuff. But it's a good win, and we can kind of go and rest our minds a little bit and then try to reconfigure. Winners, I think winning teams, winning programs, winning mindsets, works the problem. They find solutions. They don't settle. They don't go backwards. We had a setback on Thursday night. Okay, let's figure out what the setback was. Let's not make those same mistakes. Some of the soft passes that we made against the press, the 1-2-2 press on Thursday, we weren't making those against the 1-3-1. We found rhythms and gaps and made great plays and passes, much more confident against it. And so it was great to see a good mindset coming out and carried the day for us.
Coach, great win. Congratulations on that. Best of luck going on the
Appreciate
road
it.
over to Texas.
Yep.
And we'll see you back here at the end of the month against UNA.
Yeah, and I hope to see our student body back soon.
Absolutely.
They come back to classes. They can't mess around anymore. It's time to come back. A good little turnout today by our fans, and go to the weekend feeling good and hopefully find a way to get maybe 2 games on that road.
Absolutely. That was Lion head coach Jim